You can let me know when we're actually live, which I think is now, right?
Yep.
So, hey everyone, welcome to Cat's Creations, live on Friday night. Today, as promised, I'm going to show you how to create a spring tulip wreath using a modified Unique in the Creek board. I thought doing an overhead of this would be the best possible way for you to see what it is that we're doing, but obviously you're not going to see everything because it's kind of hard to, hold things up and show you exactly, but I'm hoping the idea, the premise behind it will actually stick. So if you're new to the group for the first time, come in and say hi. I'd like to welcome you. Let us know where you're from so we can, hopefully you'll meet a crafting connection here. So, what else are we doing? I'll talk to you guys throughout the process. Some things that are happening, some things that are changing. But for you guys, as far as the tutorials go, I'm always evaluating what is the best view. Everyone sometimes says overhead is. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. In this particular case, though, I felt like it was. So this is a 16-inch modified Unique in the Creek board. It's kind of like this large flower board with the center cut out of it. So I'm using this for the tulip. Why? Because if you do it on the Unique in the Creek board, has better control. And two, you can actually make this storm door appropriate. It'll fit on a storm door is the basic way of doing this. So I'm going to open my ribbon, which is always a pain when you're working with small diameter ribbon. And I'm going to use purple for my hanger because we're doing a purple wreath. And if you like this tutorial and want to save it for reference, make sure you hit the share button down below. So that way it can go ahead and save this video to your page where it's much easier to find. Because sometimes you come back and you look at these a couple years later and you don't know what we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hanger. I have some purple ribbon and I'm just going to feed it through.
John, thank you for sending 50 stars.
Let me tell you about the stars. So I did my homework today before we went live. We are at close to $40 for our stars for the month of January. And that is going, what did we say it was going towards? The animal thing, like the Betty White, because yeah, it's going to an animal shelter fundraiser. So that's where all the stars money's going. And I kind of did this backwards. This is what I wanted to be on the other side. So let me reverse that. So let me just take this. I thought I had braided cord, but I guess I didn't. So I'm using this particular ribbon. We're going to go ahead and tie a simple knot in this so it doesn't slip out. Make sure it's pretty tight. That way we have a really nice hanger. Go ahead and cut off the excess. And then this is going to stay on the inside of the board so it doesn't matter, which will give it a finished look on the back, which is the hanger to hang it. People might choose to just, there's a couple different things you can do with them. You can use them as centerpieces, add a really nice hurricane lamp. You can add a cake plate to it for baby showers, bridal showers, Mother's Day, spring, or just birthday. So let me show you what we're going to do. So you will need 6-inch cable zip ties because we're going to zip tie all of our florals. But I'm kind of an overachiever. I'm going to glue them on as well just to make sure they don't slide out as we're moving around. You will need approximately 18 bunches of tulips. The tulips are from Michael's and I had them from last year. So Michael's has tulips now, but they haven't lowered the prices on them. They're still full price, but they're about $4 a bundle. So you can kind of do the math and figure out exactly what the materials cost on it. It is definitely not cheap. And now with the price of everything going up, it's going to be crazy. So take advantage of this if you want to make one. Like I said, I like having one on hand because you can use them for so many different things. So the first thing you're gonna do, I have, I think, 3 different bundles. Is it 3? No, 2. 2 different colors. So one is a dark purple, and it's all dark purple. And then there's this one, which is a mix of the dark purple, a lavender, and kind of like a cream color. And so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna break these down and pull all the picks off. So I think you have about 8, although look, that was nothing. Huh? Yeah, I'm not doing that yet. I'm just snipping them. Start pulling. Let's see how many we get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop, there's another one with nothing. See, you've got to be really picky when you're looking for your tulips, because that, you know, this one only has 1. That one has 3. You're looking for the ones with at least 3 heads. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should have 8 picks. These ones are kind of eh. So I'll just set those.
The red board is from Unique in the Creek, right?
No. Where I'm seeing them right now is Deco Exchange has them. So go to decoexchange.com. Damon has the modified ring boards. You can try Unique in the Creek. I don't know if they're Unique in the Creek product, because I think somebody took the 16-inch board and modified it to make the ring. But she might have already did that. In which case, then yes, you can go to Unique in the Creek. But they're located all the way in Canada. So try to find the best possible place. I think there's a couple people on Etsy that are selling them. So just use your Google resources. And I looked on Amazon. Amazon does not have any. So just kind of keep checking. If you can't find them, eventually they will start to pop up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, right where my ribbon is. And I'm going to put my zip tie through the hole, but to the outside. And then on this side, I'm going to move my ribbon so I don't go through my ribbon hole. I'm going to go here into the outside. And you just kind of want to get them started because it's easier to do it that way. There's another one that only has 1. And then you're going to push your greenery all the way up. And you can pick and choose the colors you like. You might want to pick on this one 2 of the ones that kind of have a cream, and then maybe 1. There's another one with a 1. There's another one with a 1. Wow, that's a bad batch.
Yeah, Unique in the Creek does say they have it.
They do?
Yep.
Okay, but keep in mind it's coming from Canada. Right. So, I don't know what shipping is. International shipping for us back in the United States, but you're going to put them in bundles of 3, and I like to put the tulips that are longer, hang those down at the bottom. So you're just going to slide them in like this, and I like to grab it just above where all the florals start to connect. We're going to snip that off.
Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Rita, for sending stars. So
that's what we're using the stars money for this month. We're using it for animal shelter donations.
Yeah, I said 200 and Rita said 100.
Thank you, ladies.
Cheryl said Irish Made Crafts was the one that modified it, and she sells it on Etsy.
Okay, so there's exactly where, and it's interesting because she may have modified it, but I didn't see that she's actually selling the tulips now. She's just doing regular floral wreaths, like the Unique in the Creek ones. So that just shows you people can, you know, pick and choose.
Thank you, Lolly, for 700 stars.
So we're going to go like this. And then...
Happy Friday, everybody. Please feel free to like and share.
Absolutely. So again, push your longer ones to the back. I'm going to trim these down. I just usually trim them off the pick, and then I trim them so that they're on my board. Here's another long one. I'm going to weave that one back. And then we're going to slide these in. And then this is where you can kind of like, just kind of mix the 2 together. Like so.
Julie said, hi, Kathy. She said the tulips that she got from Michael's last year were awful.
I would have to say I agree. I felt like there was no quality control check, that they were kind of just tossed in a box haphazardly. Like you see, you know, these, you're supposed to get 3 tulip heads per, but these are just, they are what they are. So I'm just mixing and matching these. 3 bundles each. And then every other one, I put 1 in the center. So I'm always kind of mixing, making sure those longer tulips are going to the back. Like that. I always get hung up on a leaf. We'll trim these down because these are way too long. Forgot to put my zip tie in. So this one in the hole, over. Again, make sure we have our larger tulips in the back. I'm just grasping this a little bit above. And I'm not worried about this because it's all going to work out. But I always want to make sure that my longer tulips are in the back so that they're kind of stacking nice. This one we're going to go into the middle. So the middle, I just mean you could go either hole, but I have a tendency of thinking that there's just a little bit more of a gap in here. So this will take care of that gap. So push these up. Grab another one. Try to get this one to go to the back, and we'll trim these up. Ooh. Okay, so now we're going to move these over. We're going to slide this right inside. And it creates a really nice and full tulip wreath.
That's it. Hi, Kat. Mommy, Ohio here. Good evening, everyone. I've been wanting to learn how to make this.
Oh, nice. Then hopefully this will help.
Hi, Kenitha.
And my glue gun's having issues. Something's up with the feeder end of my glue gun. It just doesn't want to feed in my glue stick. So I kind of have to force feed it.
And yes, we're ordering another glue gun.
Yep, it's already on the way. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know until you wait. So I'm going to just put a couple ones here on the outside. I'm not going to do a big bundle, just a smaller bundle of 2. So fold them up. And you could have the entire board done. I just try to make sure that they're not in the way of the holes before that. And it actually goes pretty quick. It takes about a half hour for you to put them all on. Of course, if you didn't have glue gun issues, it would go much quicker. Because I have to stop and fidget and baby it and try to push it through. And then it'll work for a little while and then it dies again. But of course that would happen today of all days. Let's trim that one up. Okay. 3 bundles in the hole. Go ahead and snip that off. Obviously this is in the way, so we need to get this out of the way of our next hole. And I don't really trim them until I get them in, because sometimes The stem may be longer. Sometimes the stems are super short. Sometimes where they lay, they just don't lay right. But I try.
Yes, UITC does sell those ringboards. It was on there as well.
Yeah, that's what Steve said. But just remember, they're shipping from Canada. So I don't know if there's any shipping delays because there just seems to be shipping delays everywhere now. Like I said, this is just overkill for me. But I can at least guarantee that they're not going to slip out of the zip ties. There's that. Okay, the next one, remember it's 3. So we're going to go here. We're going to do our bundle in the middle. We'll do this one to the outside. And then we're going to do the one right in here. But we're only going to put 2. So it's like 3, 3, 2. And then the next one's 3 and 3. Just the outside. So pushing all the greenery up. Back to the outside. I actually finished one of these before we went live, and we did, I'll show it to you before we finish. That one is a peach and ivory.
Helen said I bought lots of tulips from Michael's last year, and now I know what to do with them. Thanks.
Yes, use those up because I have 3 tubs full of them. So I'm making them. They're like, this one's already listed in my shop. So I only have enough for 1 of each color, which is kind of how I planned it. So we'd have 1 purple. I'm gonna do one that's almost the color of the handles of my wire cutters. Okay, let's push. Make sure these are all going up. This one went a little too far.
Oh, Susan said the boards come from the state side of the border.
Oh, nice.
The orders come really quick.
Okay.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Perfect. I know for a lot of us, it's like some of us have been waiting on craft supplies for a very long time. So that's always nice to hear. Okay, last one.
Oh yeah, Joan said the same thing. I just ordered it. It came sooner than I expected. She said she thinks she opened up a warehouse.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Probably just someplace that they can cross over really quick, fulfill some orders, and then head back home.
Yeah, how much would you charge for this?
Yeah, like I said, if you do the math on the supplies, $4 times 18 plus the board plus your labor, I'm actually selling these for $75 because I got my florals at half off. So I only charge like what I pay. Otherwise, right now, before we came live, they're going for about $90 to $120. So that's the price point. And now, of course, the shipping rates are skyrocketing everywhere. So it's like, what the heck, people?
Yeah, Julie said the same thing. She believes they're shipping out from the U.S.
That's really good.
Jennifer, do you have any ideas for rose petals? Oh, yeah.
What, you mean like the florals, like the buds? Yeah, I just got those in. I'm actually going to be doing those for Mother's Day. Because as a mom, if I'm going to put a wreath up on my door, I like the sentiment of the Mother's Day, but I always like it to be non-Mother's Day related. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want a sign that says just Mother's Day if I want to put it up longer.
Francis said, just catching you live, how many bundles of tulips did you use?
You will need approximately 18. It just depends on like how many you get that are missing heads. So I always say if you have 18, you have plenty. And let me put some glue on these ones. Okay, glue gun, please feed.
You do the center one every, what, 3 or 4?
I do the center one every other one. Yeah, so like this next one will be at center. Okay, so now we're gonna go 3. And then it's gonna be 3 bundles on the outside, 1 or 2 bundles on the inside. And I love the purple one. The purple ones always sell out first. I think I have red. We did a red, white, and blue one last year. But I'm not too crazy about the blue because it was kind of like a sky blue. It wasn't like a navy blue. Okay, let's grab one of these. There's another bundle with the white. It's funny, it's just like all predominantly, like you're trying to get an even mix. Let's see how you just seep them in and tighten it down. Okay, now we're gonna do the 2. Let's do these ones. And I like leaving the greenery in because I think just that little touch of green really makes the end design look amazing. So I'm trying to get the lavender to go behind these ones before I nestle them all in. It never fails. The long ones want to sit up and you're like, you just need to fill in. That's your purpose, to fill in. So we're always like pushing them to the side so we can get the side piece in. 1, 2. These guys are a bit long. Let's pull this one up. Make sure everyone's happy and cozy. Okay, so this was our 3 bundle roll. You know, I have not had great luck.
Are you doing 3 tulips in each bunch?
On the outside only. The inside doesn't need 3, so you go 3, 3, then you go 3, 2, 3. And then you keep alternating that combo all the way down. Let's move this out of the way. We're almost halfway. There's that one.
Hi Richard, hi gals and guys.
This one. So, while I'm still bundling, let me give you guys the update. That one just popped all the way off. So, the private group's open enrollment is closing at the end of the month, which means that the rates for the private group membership, which is $17 a month, it's your last time to lock in that rate. So when you join the private group, your rates never change. And I have never raised my rates since 2018. So there's been, you know, people who have been on this for a very long time. But we're changing the price point. I haven't figured out where we're going because we're going to be offering a lot more. But lock in your rate because once the cart closes, we're not going to be able to reopen it until open enrollment begins again. So we have some amazing things coming. Can't divulge everything, but you won't want to miss it. You can sign up at the website, which is gatscreationsandmore.com.
I've already got it linked.
Okay. So I just want to go bigger. I want to go more in depth. We've just started the back to basics class for wreath makers. So I think we're week 3 in for that particular class. It's a great class. We go step by step through every process for wreath making, from color theory to deco mesh types to I'm trying to think, wreath forms. What else do we do? Yeah, you'll get training on everything from centerpieces, table, floral arrangements, garland swags, every single type. You'll be doing grapevines. You'll be doing teardrop swags. Did it the wrong way. Plus, you also get the business class. And that's kind of thrown in there as a freebie for now. That will not always be the case. I can allude to that a little bit. Let's see. Let's put this one back here so we can give it some structure. So we're back on the 3-2-3. You on the inside, and you're way too long. There we go. We're trying to get the lavender one up. Okay, look how pretty those are. The thing that the OCD part of me wants to make this all stay perfectly round. And honestly, there's just no way to accomplish that. You would have to glue your tulips to the board to make them stay where you wanted them to stay. Whoop. So what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you? I love using the Unique in the Creek board. Sunday night's tutorial, however, is going to be doing it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to teach you how to do it on the styrofoam forms. And then here's our last one. I'm going to make sure we have space. There we go. For our 2. These ones will nestle in. So we're trying to take the larger heads, trying to get that purple one. Now we're back to our 2. Let's glue the 3 though. And there's not much to embellishing this. You could, I guess if you wanted to, you could add a small bow to it, but most of the time, these ones just kind of stand on their own. There we go. I'm just having a glue feeder problem. It just doesn't like to let me feed the glue in, or it is not allowing me to feed my glue. And see, we always have like that extra, like right here where one of your tulip heads fell off. A lot of times if I have the extras, like I have ones that just have one or two, I'll go ahead and grab one of those and use that so that you have 3 heads on each. And then again, see how that just popped off? Let me make sure. You are 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right here. Inside a tulip. Let's help you to stay, since you just want to slide it out. And then these back in here. What do you guys think of
You
the...
said no Sunday now, Monday and Tuesday for classes?
Yes. So we're doing Mondays and Tuesdays for... Mondays is the business side of things, and then Tuesdays is design.
And gals, yes, if you're already a private member, remember you're already locked in.
Yep, you don't have to worry about anything except stay current. Because it's not like, oh, well, we're going to go on vacation. I'm going to take 3 months off and then I want to come back. You have to stay current.
Yeah, this will just be for new members joining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tea Creations, it's a cute one.
I love that,
And
isn't
I
it?
love this. I will have to try this. I had this board for some time, but we'll leap out of my comfort zone. Thanks for sharing.
This should be super simple then, because you get to take your time and, like I said, really work with your tulips and get them to fill in. You know, it's like you want to fill in like the smallest little imperfections, and it's not like it's an imperfection. It's just, you know, you don't want to, for me, I don't want to have any gaping holes, but it is what it is. It's just the way that tulip ribs are meant to go.
Just really cookie crumbles.
You're so funny. Okay, so the next one's going to be a 3-2-2. So we're going to do right here a 2, and the reason why I like the 6 inch is because the heads won't go all the way through. So even if they kind of get twisted, they'll always be to where the heads are on the top part of your board, so that the back of your board stays smooth the whole time. Okay,
I
so
have time for classes on Monday and Tuesday. They're on the very top logo, the picture, right? The
but
banner.
for those that are interested who can't see the banner, it is Mondays at 5 Pacific, which is
7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
thank you. And then Tuesdays we go an hour earlier for the design portion.
So Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 Central, 7 Eastern.
Yep. And the classes are always recorded, so if something comes up, because life happens, you can always come back and watch those tutorials. You know, sometimes people need to, like, they're not ready to open the business side of things yet, so it's nice for them to know that training still exists for now, for them. Actually, it will continue to exist for anyone that's still in the group. But we are going to be splitting those. Wait a second. This one I only wanted 2. Okay, so we are going to flip, because this is our 3-3-2. So I always get one that's way in the middle. That's like a little one. And all it is a space holder.
Oh, Lily, yeah, there will be a Sunday class, but it's going to be at the public group at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Let's try to get this one in. Sometimes you just have to manipulate them all. Okay. Last bundle for this side.
You should be able to have a really good view of this.
Is there any questions you guys have, like, that I can answer specifically for you? You don't have to glue. You know, I'm just doing this because I'm so picky. Sometimes I've had it happen where a bundle will pull all the way out. And so for me, it's just giving me the extra. Because even when you're zip tying, and you're zip tying as tight as you possibly can to the board, it's not going to be an exact, you know, cinch it down kind of thing. Let's get you guys. Okay. This one.
You should have plenty of bundles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed, I do. Let's get you up. Yes, I do. Because I only cut like 2. So I have plenty. So now we're back to 2. 2. Oops.
Barbara, these are the flowers from Michael. She ordered a bunch from last year, so she held on to them.
I took advantage of the fact, like every time I would go to our Michaels, they'd be picked through. And they were horrible looking. So in the past, when I've ordered from Michaels online, the quality has been a whole lot better. So I just figured, you know what, I'm not going to deal with trying to rummage through a bunch of tulips. I'm just going to order mine online because it's always free shipping. And I'm just going to wait and have them delivered to the front door.
Margarita asked, sorry, Kat, fighting COVID. Hope you feel better. Hope you get better, Margarita. But she said, can you repeat the pattern?
So the pattern is each set of 3. Like you're going to do one on the outside and the other on the outside. Then here you're going to put 3 bundles, 2 bundles, 3. So by bundles, I mean like this. This is a bundle. So you would do 3, 2, 2, and then you would go 3, 3. You skip the middle one. And then you go 3, 2, 3. All the way through.
Wait.
Huh?
You said 3, 2, 2, then you said 3, 3, then you said 3.
Right. 3. So, like here, it's 3 and 3. Then it's 3, 2, 3. Then it's 3, 3.
Okay.
Then 3, 2, 3. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one you said 3, 2, 2. The first one you said 3, 2, 2. So through.
No. 3, 2.
3, 2, 3.
3, 2, 3. Now you're gonna confuse me.
3, 2, 3, and then 3, 3.
Now you're gonna confuse me.
And then 3, 2, 3.
Now you're gonna confuse me all the way through. I want to make sure I can get this purple one. This one. You always want the longer ones to be in the back. So then they fill. There we go. Glue, glue. I mean, if you wanted to do this so pristine and so perfect, my recommendation, if you wanted to do it that way, you'd have to charge a lot more, but you can glue all the heads on the tulips, because that is the downside of the tulip wreaths, is occasionally it happens you'll lose a tulip head. Even shipping, as great as we try to put it in the box, sometimes, you know, through jostling, you might lose a tulip head. No big deal. You just pick it up. You can either stick it back in the center, you can glue it, or you can just leave it out. Take these out of the way. That way I can find my zip ties. So this was a 3 and a 3. So this is a 3, 2, 3. Right? This one's going through that, so I didn't want it to do that. So everything's ready. 1, 2. Let's do another. Let's make sure that those long ones are all the way in the back. Sometimes they're just stubborn because of the greenery that's there. This is going to go here. Make sure that settles. Meaning that like when you lay it, that it looks like it just fit right in there like a little glove. There we go. See? Like they're all fit in a nice pattern. Let me snip some of these. So it's just easy. Like what Steve did for me is he went through and just snipped everything for the one I was doing before. Like these. And then he would just snip a whole bunch. He just went through and did all the bunches. There we go. And then these are the ones with the weight. Okay. So now we have the 2. So we just do 2 on these. We just want to make sure that our next set of holes is accessible. Okay. And then once you feel like it's where you want it to be, then go ahead and tighten your zip tie. And then just reflip. See, it almost feels like you don't need one on the outside, but you do. There we go. Always make sure you push your tulips up. That one's pretty not nice. Had a lot of floppy. Like I don't mind some of the floppy heads because those are a perfect basis. I'm going to push these off to the side so that we can get our next bunch right inside. And then we'll trim these up so they're in. Trying to get this purple one and the white. Okay, there you go. Now it's all coordinated. Glue. I just kind of do glue above the zip tie and glue right below it.
Here's it, so you will be doing a Sunday evening live in this group?
Yes, in the public group.
Yep, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Which is 8 Central, 9 Eastern time, right? Yes.
Yes. Margarita, yeah, if you're in the private group, you can go back and watch any of the Back to Basics videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there.
Yes, they are.
Do you need me to cut the rest, or you good?
No, I'm good. I'm just getting picky. Like looking for the ones I want. Like if I want more purple to the inside, then I'll grab like 2 purples and 1 white.
Lorna, if you use this Unique in the Creek ring board, Kat's done this several times, so she knows it's about 17 to 18 bundles, depending upon how many tulips you get on bundles. You know, because sometimes they fall off.
Yes, like you guys saw the very first one I snipped. There was, I mean, I think out of a total of 8 bunches, there was only, what was it? 6 that had full 3 heads on it. Yeah. So like this one has 3. They should all have 3. They all should have some sort of greenery on them.
There are quite a few that don't. They have 2.
Yep. Some only have 1, which is really sad. Some, sad to say, only have nothing. It just has like greenery. And that's not beneficial. Okay, lift that up. We're just going to kind of help.
Sharon, so these are my colors for Easter and spring.
I love purple too.
Yeah, those are Kat's favorite colors.
Mm-hmm. Definitely my favorites. So I always like get them situated first and then I tighten the zip tie down. So I just make sure that like none of the short heads are getting smashed. So they're just all where they need to be. Okay, now this is a 3, what is it? 3, 2, 2, 3. So
3, 2, 3.
3, 2, 3. What did I do? 3, 2, 2.
3, 2, 2, 3.
Oh Lord. I was like trying to think, is this a 3, 2?
Yeah, I got it. So 3, 2, 3, and then 3, 3, you skip the middle.
Yes.
And then 3, 2, 3.
Yes. So always. And then we have our middle one. So out.
Irvina said you could complain to Michael's. Maybe they send you a few picks for the bad ones. Nah.
That would be wonderful. Michael's could send me all the free florals, and I would love to just make floral wreaths out of them. Because generally, Michael's is my go-to for picks.
Influencer, and they send you free tulips.
Not necessarily. They send you whatever they want you to promote. So I'm like, I want it to be florals. Well, we want it to be something else. Okay. So let's add some white to the inside because it's like dark purple right there. So let's do our longs in the back. Just move them around. So we're going to slide these in. We're going to kind of help them find permanent homes, just like that. Sometimes they fit like a glove, and then you know that that was like a perfect fit.
Cynthia asks, is the glue gun on hot?
Yep, the glue gun is on hot. Oh no, it's not. It's on low. I'm going to leave it on low though, because I've put my finger in it quite a few times. So thankfully, because it's not on high.
Maria, she said, I'm new to the private group. Do we get discount codes? You do get some discount codes on quite a few vendors.
Not Michael's though.
Not Michael's. Right?
No. And not Unique in the Creek. If you're in the private group, if you go to the featured section in the private group, there will be a document there that's called discounts and other helpful tips or links. And that's where you can find the discount codes and who we offer them through. Oops. Trying to get this little purple one. Let me just see, it just does not want to go, even though it's on the same bunch. I'm trying to get this one all the way in the back. Okay, go. Okay, and then we have our two. There's that one. Always got to get this price tag sticker off the stem. I just hate that part. Let's pop this head off because I don't like the way it looks. And let's put this one on instead. Push this up, and then let's put There we go. Let's snip those way down. This is going right in the center. And if you have any of your stems that are just slightly like going beyond the frame, you can either snip them off or you can just kind of push them back towards the center. So it's going to start to get really tight in here. The last row is probably the hardest row to do. So let's make sure our glue is applied. Let me grab another glue stick. The feeder. It's the feeder that's having issues.
It's beautiful. You make it look so easy.
It's actually not that hard. It's just stacking them. It's kind of like layering them in little bunches, little bundles on top of each. I'm going to have these all over the floor. Okay, let's snip some more. See, like this one of the stems has nothing on it. No tulip, just a leaf. This one only has one. So when you're looking, if you go to Michael's, take the time and make sure that all of your bundles, they should all have at least 3 heads on them. So pull this off. There's that one. And then a solid purple. See, I didn't trim all of them because I wanted you guys to see. First step, break them all down. And then really we only have, I think, 2 more rows to do and then it's done. Like all done. Okay. So this is a 3 and 3. So just to the outsides. And then we may not need a 2. It just depends on what the layout is. Like when you have your bundles together, you know, how do they look to you? Do you feel like you need to add another one? So I'm trying to find, so push them up, push.
Marguerite asked, would you put a bow on this? No, you don't.
No. No.
Tulips are too pretty.
Yeah. At this point, when you start adding other things, your price just goes way beyond what I think people would be willing to pay for it. So the fact that you're using so many florals, and I mean, we are definitely not going thin.
Oh, good. Reese said, beautiful wreath. Happy I could be here for this live. I've been wondering how these were made.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 17 to 18 bundles for Michael's.
Yeah, I always say get 18 because as you guys have seen, me snipping these apart is you don't get what you should be getting on these.
Oh, yay, Beth. That I just joined your private group. I have been contemplating taking the next step. So
Come join us. You will love it. You will enjoy every minute of it.
Gals in there are awesome.
Yes. Okay, so here's our outside bundle. So you can see how we've got a very limited space as we start to really work those in. Trying to make sure this isn't. There's my zip tie. Okay, let's make sure we glue this one in. See how the bundles shift inside? Even though that zip tie is down as tight as I possibly can, you can still move it to the left and right ever so slightly. And that would be enough to dislodge that. But I don't see someone like playing through there.
That's why I helps to glue it.
That's why it helps to glue it. I just really wish this would feed. I think the rubber part where it allows it to feed is just defective. Like every time I try to put my glue stick in.
It's been a great glue gun though.
It has been. It's just time for it to go. Yeah, it's time for it to go. Okay. I think I got it going.
We should. I remember tomorrow.
Well, I know I have a cordless one. Might be time to break that out and see.
I bought you that one. We never even tried it.
See how the head just now rolled off. It happens. So I'm going to do my outside one. I'm going to grab another one of these. And we're going under. This last one is the hardest, just because you're trying to lay not only under, but on top of these. So you're having to hold these back, slide them under. So it's just, once you get it though, you're good. So there's our 2. Let's grab another 3. Okay. Long ones in the back. You don't want these ones too long because there's not an awful lot of places for it to slide back to. Okay. First bundle, gotta lift the previous bundle up. You've got to slide it in far enough. You got to find your zip tie. Here's my zip tie. And then zip tie it down. And then we can kind of fix everything going together.
Hannah asked what are the times and the price of the private group?
So the private group right now is $17 a month. It's the lowest class out there for what you get. So you're getting both business and wreath making. Most people only do 1 class a week. We're doing 2 a week, which is business and
Wreath making or home decor?
wreath making, yeah. And then if we have to pop in and do anything last minute, we are definitely available to do that. So sometimes you're gonna get at least 2 lives a week.
So Mondays it's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and then Tuesdays it's going to be 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 Central, 7 Eastern.
Yeah, we just go a little bit early. And that was all voted on by the group. So they're the ones that said we want to go earlier on the weekday. So
and they're available for replay right after
they record.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our last one. So now we can get these ones. All the ones that were here. Let's put that one back on. Let's find out where it came from, if we can. Sometimes I can find the little stems where they slide off, and other times you can't. Okay, so let me pull these all up. I always save the greenery as well, because you'd be surprised where you can use this. Yeah. It's always going to be one of those things. Not COVID, let me tell you.
Just a cough.
Wow.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cynthia. She said, and Kat always answers your questions. She is awesome. If you join the group, you won't regret it.
I'm trying to pull all these out of the way so you can actually see what this looks like. pull this off. So obviously go in, you'll trim up your glue threads, if any, but that's what it makes. And the finished diameter is 20, it's 20 inches in diameter. So it's 20 wide, 20 long, and only 3.5 tall. Yeah, which is why you don't want to add a bow to it. So that's what the purple one looks like. And then this is the one that I made just before we went live. So this is the one we're calling Peaches and Cream, because it's kind of like peach colored tulips with an ivory tulip. So it's like a dark peach and then a really pale peach. So both of these are available on my website only right now.
And the back looks really clean too.
Oh yeah, I'll show you what the back looks like. So let me lift this up, flip it over. That's your back. So that's what sits on the door. So, and then they fit really nice with a hurricane lamp, a really nice cake plate. You could put like, oh, I could just think of a ton of different things to use them for. So bridal showers, baby showers, weddings. Yeah, cupcake stands. You could do it for Mother's Day. These make a nice Mother's Day centerpiece. They also make a great Mother's Day gift because it's not just Mother's Day related, which means that you could leave this up for the entire spring. Then when it starts to, move into summer, you can switch this out with your summer wreath. But either one, and Michael's has tons of colors. They have the purples, the reds, the fuchsias, the greens, the yellows, the oranges. There's just a ton.
It does seem like that, doesn't it, Barbara? But watch, if she swaps the purple for the pink,
what?
They're the same exact size.
Yeah.
They think the purple looks bigger because it's just
it's closer
to the camera.
It's closer to the camera. Watch. There's the purple. And there's that one.
Yep.
And they're both sitting on a 36-inch board.
Yeah.
So
just one of those forced perspectives.
Yeah.
And no problem. She says, I work full time at a doctor's office. I don't get out home until 6:30 Central Time. So you could always watch the replay on the one day.
You can come back like in that evening and just go to the top of the page where all the current pinned tutorials are for the week and pull whichever one down that you want to see. So it's entirely up to you. So there you guys go. They're both exactly the same. Same diameter, made on the exact same, unique in the creek form. So exact.
It is funny because the pink one now looks bigger.
Yeah, it's just closer to the camera.
Yeah, it's a perspective.
Okay. Do you guys have any last minute questions? Otherwise, I will see you guys back on Sunday, and I'm going to teach you old school way of doing it with the, I think it's a 14-inch styrofoam form, like a foam form. It's really hard compressed. So we're going to do it on that one. And that one is not storm, I don't know if it's storm door appropriate because you're working 3 sides, whereas this is a larger, flatter space. You not only have to do the top, but you have to do the inside and you have to do the outside as well. All right. Well, have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye, everyone.